Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fantactics podcast. It's good to have you back with us. How was the international break? I hope you enjoyed the football games that were played across all the countries in the world. And I hope you also enjoyed the first weekend back from the international break because, it was a really interesting weekend. And as we have always said, every week when we come back, what's going on in Liverpool? Separation is increasing. Also in Spain, we are seeing that, man. The going is not always rosy. When you come into the club and you're flying high, the teams begin to watch out for you and try to find ways to pick you off. But all in all, it was, like we said, it was an interesting weekend, and we are glad to have you back on the show. I'm in the studio with Sabubu as usual. Sabubu, how you doing?
Well, I'm good. The international break has come and gone. The Premiership is back, and the usual suspects are doing what they know how to do very well. Man United's new manager had his first taste of the Premiership. He saw the intensity, and maybe he'll go back to the drawing board to re-strategize on how he needs to take the team up the table. In Spain, we saw Celta Vigo did Real Madrid a favor by holding Barca to a draw. Vini is out now, and I think now that Vini is out, Mbappe has a chance to play on his favored left wing position.
That might see the team generally improve.
We saw Atletico doing their thing. We saw Juventus and Inter play out the draw. We saw Napoli beating Roma that had to bring Claudio Ranieri for a third spell.
Rescue mission.
Then we saw Atlanta do what they know how to do best by winning. But that late kickoff on Sunday, Napoli went back to the top. In the Premiership, we don't know what's happening in the blue half of Manchester.
I'm sure the red half of Manchester will be feeling like, misery loves company. Sorry, guys, it's not like people are in misery or something, but with the whole loss or losing streak, those at Manchester United will be feeling a little better than their neighbors right now. But man, talking about that, what's up with Guardiola's men? Do you feel like they have finally figured out how to, hurt Man City?
Initially people said Rodri was the issue.
Yeah.
But now it's much more than Rodri, to be candid with you, because yes, one player has that factor in a team. But with the kind of tactician that Guardiola is, losing Rodri doesn't mean that's the end of the road for that squad. They have a very big squad. Against Tottenham Hotspur, I wouldn't say it's luck for Spurs, but it has become a norm for Spurs to go to Man City and play them off the park. There are times they win, there are times they draw. But that match on Sunday was something else.
An anomaly.
Yeah, and I think they know the weaknesses of Man City, and Man City played into their hands.
No matter who is the coach now.
Yes. It's like a standard practice, a logbook. When you're playing Man City, these have to go about it. And that's what actually really happened. The first 10-15 minutes, City would have gone ahead if Haaland took his chance. He missed it. They had chances, but immediately Spurs scored. We all knew that it was all about counter-attack, beating the offside trap. And it worked perfectly for them.
So, talking about these Malays, what can you really point to this? And you talked about Haaland not taking his chances. He's still known to be the most prolific marksman in England, but something is
most
really
potent.
going off. Is it that the supply line is not as the chances are not being created at a high volume as usual? Because he always misses chances.
You know why? Once he misses chances, it's obvious they are creating chances.
Yeah.
When he's not missing chances, that means they're not creating chances. So they're creating chances. Okay. Even against Bournemouth that they lost, they created a lot of chances towards the end of the match. Same thing with Brighton. So right now, we don't seem to know what is happening in Manchester City. I'm being honest with you.
Guardiola will be feeling the heat that his previous adversary,
And-
Ten Hag,
and he
was
just signed-
feeling,
he just
and he
signed
just
a-
signed an
a-
extension.
a 2 years contract.
One will be saying, man, you should have just, you should have just, left. But he won't be. He would have been thinking, I don't want to jump ship now with the whole, FFP.
But you know,
and
you know,
stuff.
you
So
know,
it won't be like
you
I
know the
betrayed
irony
the
of
club.
Man City is the team is aging,
Yes, that
and
the spine of the team.
team is aging,
Yeah.
and you didn't get a backup for Haaland. You sold Alvarez. Was that not madness?
I would think Guardiola
Was it overconfidence?
he's used to playing without a 9, so he figured if I need to rest this guy, I can do a full.
But the Premiership, the Premiership now has his number. That's the irony about it.
That's the thing. Guardiola has become the textbook for managers to study in preseason. So he's going to have a tough one. But if there's a manager that should be able to figure that out, he's the man. But sometimes, too, after you stay at a club for
Too
a
long.
while, it just falls apart. Mourinho always has it in his third season. Some other managers are like that. But let's see how he does and if he can recover.
But
Man City.
the match against Liverpool on Sunday is very crucial for their season.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy because Liverpool are in top form. We were talking about them as we opened the show. Salah has been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He's in good shape. He's confident. He's playing as one of the best players in the world right now. The Liverpool team, with the whole control that Slot has brought to the way they play, they are having less injuries. Their team is together. They are blending. They are growing.
They are playing what they call expansive football.
And they are now.
And that expansive football tends not to put players' knees and their legs under pressure because the ball shouldn't be with you for too long. The ball has to be rolling around. Yes, Southampton tried to mess up the whole thing. That match was very close.
It was close indeed.
I still feel if Southampton was a far better team, that match would have ended in a draw, or they would have even won the match. Now, I in one of my football WhatsApp group, I told them something. I said, Liverpool is not as fantastic as people think they are, but they are very efficient, which is very key.
I tend to agree.
They are
with
very,
that.
very efficient. And I said something, and a lot of people were asking me, why do you say so? I said, if not for Arsenal and Chelsea, that I feel they're not as serious as the way they used to be.
They are not as serious as they are supposed to be because they look good on paper.
Yeah,
they look good.
They should be the one on Liverpool's neck because those two teams have the balanced squad once their top players are available.
Yeah.
You saw the amount of players Arsenal rested against Forest on Sunday and see what they did to
Forest has been the boogie team for the big six.
And you saw what they did to them. You saw Chelsea against Leicester City. People said it was 2-1. That match was very comfortable for Chelsea. They would have won Leicester by long margin.
If Madueke was not designed against you and the like.
You understand? So when I see Chelsea play, I smile. I said, this team, watch them. And people are seeing what I was saying. Chelsea will create chances. If they take their chances the way they create it, they will be the top of the Premiership. There are the teams I feel, it is them I feel that will challenge for that Premiership the way it's going. Because they are playing in a conference league that they don't exert a lot of energy. They use mostly their second team to play. And their second team is likely like some team's first team. Yeah. Are they still in the Carabao Cup or they've been knocked out? Okay, they were knocked out by Newcastle.
Yes.
So, and I know Maresca will want to win 1 or 2 trophies this season.
You want to take something.
So, by January is when they will test the actual strength of that team apart from the Christmas fixtures. Because the FA Cup has a way of draining teams out. Because of the fixture list, some funny things you're playing, you might bring out the second string team to play, and the team you're playing is already pressing your neck. Yeah. You're already telling the first team, get ready, you should come in. And the kind of grounds they go play. This funny, they go and play at Oxford ground, all this funny. So, you know how it is. If Liverpool are still where they are by the end of February or first week in March, I would say they'll win the Premiership. But as it is right now, it's just 11 games.
Yeah.
So they are still playing in Champions League. They are still in the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup has not even started yet, and they might get an unlucky draw in the first round.
So you
So you
have
can
to face a very strong
They
team.
might just simply give them Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, or they give you, or they might give them an Arsenal, one of those funny teams that know that we cannot finish in the top 10. So why can't we just
Destroy
this team?
their own quest for a quadruple.
So that's it.
But anyways, talking about Liverpool, after the game, Salah, their last game against Southampton, at the players' exit, Salah was approached by journalists and he was questioned about his future as regards a contract renewal. And a bombshell was dropped. Salah said
The club has not
the club has not said anything to him. And that would be strange because looking at Salah's record,
do you believe him?
Salah, wait. Let's look at what's on ground. Salah has gained Liverpool 17 points with his goals and his assists this season.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Without Salah, those guys will be somewhere mid-table.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine you saying, why I would say I believe him, because coming back to your question, he wouldn't use the media if a contract, he's putting pressure on the club. It's kind of like playing a game of chess. He has seen that the club are not moving. And, Liverpool players are generally very respectful of the club. They don't speak about these things.
Because of the history of the club. It's more of a family club.
Van Dijk, you don't hear them come out to talk about those stuff. Even Mane, after the disrespect, he didn't say anything. He just left, made the club some money and stuff like that. So, but for Salah to come and speak out in the media in such a manner, you kind of feel like he's either telling the club, man, okay, you either do this thing or I'm out. Because he made a comment. He said right now he's more out than in. That's strange. So do you think Liverpool are playing a dangerous game? Because you lose a player like Salah, you feel it.
Well, before we started the recording session, I told you that Liverpool has 3 players that are out of contract.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander, and Salah. And I told you that it's likely among those 3, 2 will sign, 1 will likely go.
Or 2 will go and 1 will sign.
Yes. Now, what I feel is 2 would sign. Van Dijk would not want to leave.
Okay.
Because he's playing one of the best football of his career presently. Salah is Salah. But the problem is Salah is 32. I know most of the top 6 clubs, especially in the Premiership, are very careful to give players over 30 a long contract. What I feel Salah might likely want is a 3-year contract, 2 years locked down, 1 year rolling based on performance and all. Yeah. So it's mostly 3 years contract. But I feel Liverpool might likely want to give him 1 year and one year.
But is 3 years too much to ask? This is a player that is already a legend.
Yeah, we know.
He has paid his dues. He has not scored less than 23 goals in a season since he joined. Such a player. I'm not saying you use sentiments to give contracts, but I'm saying Salah is still scoring at a phenomenal rate.
Yeah, we know that. Once a player is above 30 and the player is injury-free, Salah is more of an injury-free player. Yeah. He had some injuries when he was quite young back then.
Yeah.
Once you're above 30 as a footballer, your recovery rate is slower than normal. Yeah. And as a footballer, be it your age, you are 90 minutes away from retirement. One bad tackle can end your career.
That's true.
Now, you give someone like Salah, who is a phenomenal player, a 3-year contract. Let's say he's asking for a 3-year contract, and he gets injured. The only clubs that would pay for him when he's injured are the Arabian clubs, because it's an Arab player.
That's fine. So what's the problem? Is it the money or is it the injury? Because even with the players are taking care of themselves much better. There's Lewa, there's Modric, there's Ronaldo, there's Messi.
But in quote, there are very few.
Yeah, but Salah has shown.
Yes.
I was telling somebody he scored, took off his shirt. Look at me, man. I'm built like a Greek god. Come on, what's the issue?
See,
I'm playing the best football around.
Whatever is happening right now is between Liverpool and Salah. I think the problem Salah is having is because 2 other players are out of contract. If he was the only player on ground, they would have given that contract.
So is money an issue? Those guys
money is
playing
not the
Champions
issue.
League.
Money is really not the issue. Yeah. It is sustainability. That's what every club is looking at.
Okay, so
you understand?
So let's get this 350K a week off our books.
I still feel Salah and Van Dijk will
To
sign.
sign.
Trent might likely leave
Join Madrid.
because
Yeah.
Madrid has been cutting him for over 2 years.
Okay. Well,
So
let's
that's
see
it.
how that plays out.
Mhm.
Also, this weekend we saw the new manager of Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, experience English
It's
football from an English dugout for the first time.
And
You know,
intensity.
he beat Man City, which everybody's doing now. So I was kind of telling you guys, like, look, Man City has been losing, so don't feel like he beat Man City is something so special.
Yeah.
And we have been able to see that even Tottenham now have done it.
Mm.
So, the coach is a great coach, but what did you take from that first game, looking in?
Well, the first game was more of him seeing his team play. United has not played a 3-4-3 formation in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
That is the guy's own formation. That's the way he plays naturally.
Yeah.
Now, it's quite unfortunate that his first match was not at Old Trafford, and his first match was against an intensive playing Ipswich Town. We saw what they did to Spurs.
Ipswich will play anybody.
They
It's
beat
just,
Spurs.
can you
remember
play
they beat
them?
Spurs
Yeah.
at Spurs Stadium. Remember, it was a last-minute equalizer that saved Aston Villa.
Yes.
That Portsmouth Road is like is an old typical English ground.
Yeah, yes.
The fans are it's like Luton Town Stadium.
Yes, they are
neck.
close to the fans. The pitch is
You
narrow.
will feel the intensity,
Yeah.
and the players were up for it. Their mindset is, you and Murray will mess you up here today. This is Ipswich Town.
They want to give you a warm welcome to English football.
Let's give the man till January.
Of course, he said it after the match that it's going to take time. But what I want us to talk about just a bit before we go on our short break is, if you are Amorim, looking at that squad, because you could see at certain points in the game he was looking so frustrated. He was like, "What are these boys playing? Like, are you for real?"
He needs to bring. He needs to bring
became
Koboko.
a meme. There were different pictures, different poses, different angles, different points. So if you're Amorim right now, what are you looking to change in this Manchester United team?
Renz, both of us know very well that if this man gets that team playing the way he wants them to play, Eriksen and Casemiro will not be in that midfield. We both know that.
Yeah.
It's because of there's injury to that young English guy. What's his name? Mino.
Kobe Mino. Yeah.
That's why those two guys can play there. I was surprised that Rashford started. I was very surprised.
Ugarte did not start. Maybe
Good.
it was because he went to South America.
Then, that young French guy they bought that got injured. He's back on the bench.
Lenny
Euro. So, because Amorim will not play that squad and have an Evans playing in central defense now. Do you want to kill them?
So it's kind of crazy, but like you said, I think they'll just be figuring out who is who should be where. But
if there's one player, if there's one player that is going to perform with this guy, if that team gels, is Bruno Fernandes.
I think Højlund too is going to
he will perform.
He's going to benefit.
Then maybe
another person that was looking sharp was Ahmad.
Ahmad will benefit. Then one player that they would have to sit down and speak to, if it means them reformatting his brain, is Garnacho. No, it's true, because he has the talent, but
his decision making
is zero. Then he needs the guidance of a coach to position him well and make him understand that this is how football should be played. He's good. He's good. Trust me on that.
I think he's in good hands. Amorim is a coach that's guided some players and made them into stars.
By Thursday, we'll see another side to him.
More to the story.
Weekend, we'll see him. Then the Manchester derby is in 1 or 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
We'll now see how good he is.
You got it. So, Manchester United fans will be biting their nails and expecting what next. Don't worry, you have a Cameroonian wall in your goalpost. Onana was very impressive, and he continues to redeem his reputation in English football. But as we have said, things always unravel with time, and we are always here alongside you to watch and see. We'll go on a short break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be looking at the fixtures for the midweek and the weekends. Still the number one Fantastics podcast.
Now that we are back from the international break, we have midweek fixtures: the Champions League, Europa League, and the Conference League. This week will determine if many teams will make the top 8 or they will just settle for the playoffs. Tuesday has the creme de la creme fixtures for Europe, where the big teams are going to meet themselves. Wednesday has 2 super fixtures. So let's start with the Tuesday fixtures.
Yeah, we'll see Sporting host Arsenal, Sporting CP. Without their
coach,
we don't know how they'll be responding.
They promoted the under-23 coach to become the new head coach. Yeah. It's a match Arsenal needs to win, because for Arteta to rest the bulk of his team on Saturday for that match against... He had one eye on, because if he wins that match, he gives him the leverage that he has 2 home matches again, which he can easily win, and he has 1 away match again. I see an Arsenal win or draw in that match.
Okay, Barca versus Brest.
Barcelona needs to win that match so they can consolidate their top 8 position in that match.
They'll be without Lamine Yamal though, so
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
All right. Man City will host Feyenoord.
Man City needs a win and a good win to be able to qualify automatically, because they lost their last match to Sporting.
Yes.
So they need to win that match. I say Man City winning that match.
Okay.
Let's forget what has happened to them in the past five matches.
Inter Milan will be hosting RB Leipzig.
Well, Inter needs to consolidate their position on that Swiss format group. They had a very narrow win against Arsenal. That was the match we knew that Arsenal started coming back to their normal self. Because after that match, Arsenal had to play Chelsea, which was a London classic. Yeah. I see Inter winning that match.
Okay. The creme de la creme, like you said, Bayern will be hosting PSG.
Everything written on that match is a Bayern win. PSG has just won 1 match, and that was their first match, which was more like an own goal. They've been very poor in the Champions League, to be honest with you, this season.
Yeah, I was about to annex a question to that, fixture. I was saying, do you think Luis Enrique might lose his job going by the performance of PSG?
He won't. You know why?
Because the yardstick for measuring success is not just League One. League One is like basic. So it's how well you do in Europe.
But from what I am seeing in PSG, he was brought in to build a fresh team from scratch. Okay. Because if you look at some of the players in that PSG are young players. PSG has started to leave the Classico era of getting big stars. It didn't work for them.
Okay.
For them to allow Mbappe go, allow Neymar go.
The likes,
if you look at the players there, they're it's an exciting young project, and we'll see the dividend of that project from next season in the Champions League. League One, they already have a stronghold on it, based on Marseille and Monaco are not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. So to wrap up the fixtures, you also see Young Boys as Atlanta on Tuesday.
Atlanta is a team everybody is now afraid of playing. We are seeing what they do. They play without fear. Gasparini's teams, I told you that they tend to start slow, but once they peak, to stop them becomes a problem. Even now, the pundits in Italy are saying they are tipping them to win the Serie A.
They have made a steady, slow but steady ascension of the log.
Napoli is there because of the experience of the squad. They still have the bulk of the squad that won the Serie A 2 seasons ago, and the manager they have, who knows the Serie A in and out. Yeah. So that is it.
All right. We'll move on to Wednesday, where we have Aston Villa hosting Juventus.
Aston Villa would need to play better than the way they've been playing, because they've not been playing well lately. And Juventus is a team that has not lost. They are yet to lose in the Serie A. They hardly concede.
But they find it hard to score.
Yes, they find it hard to score. And anything that makes Juventus score first, Aston Villa will suffer in that match. So I look at an Aston Villa win or draw.
Okay. Monaco versus Benfica.
It's going to be a classic. 2 teams that like to attack. They enjoy attacking each other. Benfica have been good this season, and they've been bad at the same time. They trashed Atletico Madrid, and a match people thought they beat Atletico at home, and Feyenoord came to that same ground to beat them. So it's a team that is very inconsistent. I see a high-scoring game. Maybe both teams to score.
All right. To wrap up Wednesday's fixtures, Liverpool will be hosting Real Madrid at Anfield.
First of all, Anfield is home of dreams,
and nightmares.
And there's that crowd and all. I don't know the Real Madrid that will show up in that match.
Okay.
Because they too need to start winning games.
Yeah.
They've lost 2 games in the Champions League already. So I see a Liverpool win or draw. It will be very tight.
It will be very tight. Well, good luck to Real Madrid because they have to pull out.
They have to win this match.
To pull out a magical performance to be able to get a result. They are capable of it on European nights. Yes, so let's see what comes.
Because if anything that makes them lose that match, that means they will start to fight for their lives for a playoff spot.
Yeah. All right. On Thursday in the Europa League, we'll still see Amorim's United in action against Bodo Glimt. Tottenham will host Roma and Sociedad will host Ajax.
Man, you would win that match. Trust me, they'll win it.
They should.
They should be winning that match. Then Tottenham versus Roma. Tottenham lost their last match to Galatasaray, a very close match.
Yeah.
A match that Gala wanted to dash them the match at the end of the day after taking a 2 or 3 goals lead. Against Roma is still trying to tap into the philosophy of Claudio Ranieri. I see a Tottenham win because they are fast.
Yeah.
Then Real Sociedad and Ajax. Ajax are playing at home, right?
No, away.
I see Sociedad win or draw.
All right. Heidenheim will be hosting Chelsea in the Conference League.
Chelsea will beat them. Chelsea don't have mercy for those small teams.
All right. We are going to move straight to the weekend fixtures where we have some really exciting games across all the leagues. I'll just quickly look at Saturday from Serie A. AC Milan will be hosting Empoli. AC Milan have been very shaky lately.
Yes.
Pulisic seems to be in form, but the team seems to be out of form.
That match against Empoli, I see a Milan win. Because they are already seeing the top for the way the league table.
Yeah. There's still hope though, because it's close. All right, in La Liga, Barcelona will be hosting Las Palmas.
A good win from Barcelona.
Okay, that should help them recover because their leg has been shaking lately. Valladolid versus Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid, well, it will be a low-scoring match. But Atletico win or draw.
Okay. In the Bundesliga, it's going to be the Klassiker. Dortmund will be hosting Bayern Munich.
We don't even know the Dortmund that will come out because Dortmund are very inconsistent. I fear for Nuri Sahin. That's their president. I fear for him. And Bayern is a club that they're expected to win matches like that based on their pedigree in the German Bundesliga. It will be a high-scoring match. I say both teams to score, but I can't seem to point who will win that match.
I would swing towards Bayern because, like you said, Sahin's team has been really struggling. And he seems to be losing some section of supporters, from the fans aspect. And, of course, in the dressing room, 1 or 2 players might also be dissenting to his choices that he's making. But the club are saying they are backing him, so let's see what will happen. But me, I'll swing towards the Bayern direct win for that match. Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Newcastle lost at home yesterday night. It was surprising to everybody. And Crystal Palace have started to pick up. You saw what they did to Aston Villa at Villa Park. I see a Crystal Palace win or draw.
Okay, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich. Nottingham done the... They've been saying nothing fi harm them. Or something on the harm Forest.
That match, I can't tell you who would win, but for the guys in investments,
just goes to be
both teams
massive.
To score.
All right, Wolves versus Bournemouth.
Wolves are back.
Yeah,
you saw what they did. A Fulham team that is very, very compact. Saw what they did to Fulham.
Yeah.
I look at a Wolves win or draw.
All right, West Ham versus Arsenal.
That match is going to be very dicey because the match will be the last match for Saturday where the whole country and the whole world will be watching. The match that West Ham won against Newcastle is a boost to them. But Arsenal knows that every match now they have to be picking up the 3 points.
You have to.
So it's going to be a match will be very interesting. Arsenal will nick it.
All right. On Sunday in the EPL, Chelsea will host Aston Villa.
We don't even know how that match will pan out. Chelsea play well, but they have a very funny defense and a funny goalkeeper. I see both sides scoring. Chelsea win or draw.
All right. Manchester United versus Everton.
A straight win for Man United.
Okay. Tottenham, Fulham.
Spurs will win that match.
Okay. And, the game of the weekend, Liverpool will be hosting Manchester City. You think they can really make a statement about their title credentials?
If we go by form, we would say the match, Liverpool will win it.
Yeah.
By form. As it is, Liverpool is leading City by
8 points.
8 points. And leading Arsenal and Chelsea by 9 points.
Yeah.
If City loses that match, at the end of the day, it will be how many points? 11 points.
11 points. And it might be disastrous.
It will be disastrous.
They might end up in 5th.
To the morale of...
They might end up in 5th or 6th.
Yeah,
not just for the morale. Where the table...
The table is a very funny table.
Yeah, you can reconfigure.
As long as you're not winning, you have a problem.
Yes.
When you are losing, you are coming down. When you are drawing, you are either here or there.
It just goes to show how consistent that they have been, that even when they have lost this number of games, they are still second.
I said it on the platform that City has lost so much games that they are second. That's criminal. That match, I look at a Liverpool win or draw. But City can do wonders. We know the City.
Yeah, that's the thing with Guardiola. He might just go cook up something and get the surprise for the weekend.
That winning run.
But it's a good game if you are not a Liverpool and Manchester City fan.
Enjoy the game.
You just sit down and you watch and enjoy football.
Enjoy it.
Even though City are, they still tend to bring some excitement to the table.
You're right.
We'll look forward to that. In the La Liga, Villarreal will be hosting Girona, Real Madrid, Getafe, and Sociedad will be hosting Betis.
Well, I see a Real Madrid win. Real Sociedad, they're a very good squad. A win or draw. Then Girona and Valladolid, right?
Yes.
Well, and over 1.5, maybe 2 goals to come out from that match.
Girona with Villarreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two goals to come out from that match.
Okay, that's wonderful. Fiorentina will be hosting Inter, 2 of the high flyers in the league right now.
Fiorentina are 4th in the league right now.
Yes.
They're on the same points with Atlanta and Inter. That match is going to be very, very tight.
The table.
I see both sides scoring.
Lecce will be hosting Juventus.
Juventus are playing away. A straight win for Juventus.
All right, and then Torino will be hosting Napoli. Another
banana skin.
Yes.
for Napoli win or draw.
All right. Well, that's that for the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're investing, please remember to invest wisely. I know if you're watching the podcast up to this point, I don't need to tell you to like our videos or to subscribe to the channel. You have already done that and you are a loyal Fantastico. We appreciate all the support that you give to us. We ask that you please enjoy your weekend, you stay safe, and you enjoy the game of football.
Is it weekend or enjoy the week?
Well, enjoy the week. Enjoy us at the end. I will see you.
Please, our Facebook page, we like the traction on it and we appreciate the comments from people. We would love that you still like the page, follow the page, and share the link to family, contacts, and friends. Really appreciate.
All right. Until we come back next week, enjoy yourself. The weekend is loaded. We'll be back. I'll be back with many goodies. It's still Fantastic Podcast.
Take care.
Number 1.
And remember blessed.